my lungs. And if my mind worked backwards just for a minute, I'd hold on to you before the memory's gone. I remember you, you lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember, I remember you, you lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember.
Yeah, boy. On that note, the advice men were given destroyed their lives, and we're also
So,
gonna
brothers,
smoke some weed.
The only thing you have to
So
do in this
join
world,
and smoke.
and I mean the only thing you have to do in this world, and it's very simple. The thing is, it's just not easy to adjust to this simple thing when you've been making the wrong moves and moving the wrong way for such a long time.
Yeah.
From the piss poor advice you were given
Piss
growing
poor
up.
fucking advice. Thanks
The
a lot,
advice all men
Grandma,
were given
Mom,
growing up
Dad. Well, my dad, he was pretty
completely had
bullshit.
everyone humiliated, bruh.
Motherfuckers.
And it's important to go through it because, bro, no one is ever going to tell you to treat a woman bad. And no, you shouldn't. And people think nowadays you got to treat people bad and all this kind of stuff. It's never the truth.
What the fuck?
You have to know your boundaries as a man and a woman. You have to know your boundaries. You have to know how the real world works. And not pedestalize a woman or pedestalize a man or be over validating or do any of those types of things that's going to lower your own value. Like, the simplest thing for men to do is just to focus on yourself. And it sounds so cliche and simple, but it's the truth of what has to happen. You can't be overly focused on chicks. You can't just be trying to get something going all the time with some girl, bro. You have to take that time and really focus on your life for years, bro, before you even think about approaching or doing this or doing that. Like, bro, the level of focus you need
Man, fuck, I fucked up this live stream.
is going to turn you into a man. And if you never know how to focus for that long period of time and you're always doing random fun things, bro, you're never going to become a true man. Because it takes a certain amount of focus. It takes a certain amount of trials and tribulations that you have to go through to become what you're supposed to be. Like,
Suffering
bro,
is a gift.
if everyone was just given the right advice and moved a certain way from a younger age, all men would be doing much better today. Like, much better. And it's also so easy to set yourself apart today because almost everyone's messing up, bro. So it's like when you don't and you know what to do. And it's not a game. Some people think, oh, I need a game. I need to do this. I need to do that. You don't need to do any of that, bro. You have to get your life in order is what you have to do. Like, and that's not a game. You might think, oh, I got to do this so I can get these chicks. And bro, that if you haven't in your mind that it has to
You'll
be
look
that
better,
way,
you'll feel
that
better.
makes it a game.
First, your hormones will get imbalanced.
You don't do that. You just keep becoming who you
As
are,
a man or
who
a
you
woman,
want to be.
You need the right hormones.
And things just come,
feel
things
good.
just appear.
Like, bruh,
Because you did you.
it's easy peasy.
While everyone else is jerking around and just, they don't know what they're doing.
Playing with their pud.
You're moving in the right direction
Play
every
with
single
the
day of
bud,
your
Mark.
life. You're taking that hard path. You're taking that lonely path. That's going to make you a man. Because you're focused.
Blunt roaches from the night before.
You're not in the mix. You're not everyone else because everyone else is failing, bro.
Most
So when
people
you
are
decide
failing,
not
they're
to
even
fail,
trying.
everything just starts
That's
to
the
come.
issue.
It's simple, but it's not easy to get on to.
But it is what it is, man.
Because, bro, even your father, even other men around you is not going to tell you to move that way. They're not going to do it. You had to figure some stuff out on your own.
Right?
And I'm telling you some stuff right now, but this is how it has to be.
Some RNS.
Like, you
know what
truly
that
have to
means?
set yourself apart and become a
Urban Dictionary, that
special
shit.
man and a force. You have to be a force to be reckoned with.
I am a force.
And it's what you should be anyways. That's the standard, bro. And you don't do it to get the girls. You continue to move that way.
Yeah,
you
bro,
continue to be
mastermind
that
this.
way. No matter what happens, no matter what doesn't happen, you have stuff to do. And bro, women love that.
Like, wake up and be a fucking
They
man. People
love
respect that,
that.
shit. It's not that hard.
When you become
Somebody
an
told me,
immovable object,
you know,
no
Daniel, the
matter
reason
what
I
they do,
respect
you're
you
still in
is
your
because
path.
you do what
They
you say you're gonna
can't
fucking
get
do.
you off it.
And they were talking about this.
You don't get
studio
your
and all
off your
this
own
shit,
path either
you
and
know.
start to get with your friends
I
all the
told people I
time and
was
do
gonna do
these
this shit
things
like
and you're doing
5
different
years ago.
things and all this stuff. You're not
I hit a
focused.
bump in the road when I left and went to fucking Tupelo.
You're not focused enough. Are these friends hustling with you, bruh? Is y'all getting together and is y'all in this ambitious state during the days all the time, getting stuff done and being those people? Most of your friends ain't gonna be that
That
way.
shit didn't just
You have to
happen
limit
overnight.
time
Just-
around friends, around women. Even if you get your long-term girl, bro, you can't be around your long-term girl all the time.
And I'm still working my ass off.
And
trying to
she's
make the
gonna
channel
understand
take
that.
off and every fucking thing else. It's a battle. I can't
Like,
say.
y'all need your time apart. You need to stay in the right mental space. That's so important for men. Far more important for you than it is for her or anyone else. Women really need to understand that as well. Because sometimes they might be complaining, I'm not getting enough attention from you, blah, 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 blah. Or your friends will say stuff, oh, why don't you want to come and drink all these beers and watch the game and do this and da-da. They don't understand why you don't want to be a part of it. Because you're a part of something much bigger, something much greater.
Aw, shit, man.
They're just
they're
falling
always
to the low
moderating
levels
your
of
comments.
society. That's what it is. And you're not, because you're focused.
Allow
You're
it.
going through the hard times. You're going through the isolation
Allow it.
phases. You're going through the isolation periods. To thicken yourself, you get used to the suck. You get used to the battles. You get used to the mental battles, and all of a sudden, you're in an immovable object.
And yeah, men need like
Because that is how you
thugs,
lived
or
your
at least
life
groups
over an
of male
extended
friends,
period
because,
of time.
You know, women
Let
are allowed
everyone
to
else
have
mess
that.
up, bro. You're
Women
not
are
going to
allowed
mess
have,
up. You live the
know,
next 10 years to not mess up. You're not
Girl
going to mess up.
Scouts and shit. Men aren't allowed to
Because
have
you're
Girl
out there
Scouts.
getting
We
after it.
have
You're
to
out
allow
there
women
doing
in
the
those
damn
places.
thing.
Like, what the fuck?
Most men are told, what are they told? Oh,
They cannot relate to our struggle.
go to your career.
I mean,
Go to school.
no,
Go
if
get your
Girl
job. And I'm not
Scouts
saying
start
don't,
accepting
but
boys, I mean,
hear me out.
yes,
We're
maybe
going
that's
to
okay.
continue on with this.
Then just
Find a nice
change the
girl.
name to the Scouts.
Go find a nice girl. Go focus on her. Go do all these things and just... And how often does it work? Not too often.
Ha ha, fuck the auto mod.
And you don't get the girl you want by doing those things.
Fuck motherfuck.
You don't.
Fuck motherfuck balls.
You guys understand how many people split up? How many people break up?
How
Do
many?
you guys understand?
Everybody. I mean, shit, it's
A ridiculous
the
amount, bro.
exception to
It
being
takes
in
a lot to
long-term
make things work today,
relationship, a very
bro.
long-term.
Look at the world we're living in. And you can't be a part of this world. You have to be out of this world in this world, if that makes
Driest
sense.
mango cigar ever.
Like in this stupid world that's
Noise,
created today, you
noise,
have to be
noise,
out
noise.
of it. Not in it. Out of it, looking down on it, thinking look at all these clowns.
We're smoking our
Look at what
morning
they're
gold.
doing. Look at
Today
me.
I'm
The
scheduled
big
to
bad
work
boy
at
up here.
9:30,
The big
so
bad
I've
beast.
gotta get my ass on the ball.
The big bad wolf. And you're just looking down like this. Look at these
And I
clowns.
will probably work until
Messing
about
up so
7
much.
o'clock tonight.
When you're above it.
Hell yeah.
Because you understand how the world works. They don't. They're clueless. They're going to make all these mistakes. They'll probably
Smoking fatties.
keep trying to get girlfriends in their 30s and 40s and mess up and get broken up with, and life's just a mess.
Yeah.
Because y'all didn't understand the assignment.
You didn't understand the assignment.
You have to understand the assignment, bro. You got to understand what
Life
you
is a
have to do
cutthroat
in this
game.
world. That's what you have to do.
Find your little clique you fit in with. Y'all stick
And it's
together.
on you, bro.
Take over the world.
It's on you to go through some stuff when you're young.
Yes.
To understand that
Men don't
This
become
is
men
messed
until
up.
you're fucking in your 30s.
I messed up as well. I have to fix this. Because if I keep doing the same things, I'm going to keep getting the same
Very
results.
few 20-something-year-old men. And even
So it
those
comes down to
men,
yourself.
They'll be vastly superior when they're in their 30s.
And you're the only one that can fix anything. There were some things that happened in my past, bro, and we've all been through these awakenings. I've been through it all, bro. I've been through absolutely every bit of it.
I've been through 2 or 3
And it's just
spiritual
like-
awakenings, some
You know
fucking
things are off. You know
tragedies,
things are, like, very
lost
weird
the
and
love of my life
unusual.
2 or 3 times.
It shouldn't be happening
is
this
what
way,
it
but it
is.
is happening this way, so I have to fix this. And then you come to the realization of how the world actually works and how people actually are. And it's not what you think. It was all a dream. It was all a made up fairy tale. Like, it's just not how the world works. It's just not.
Toughen up. Or
There's still lots of people, bro, in their 30s and 40s and even 50s and stuff, and they think a certain way. They
But
think
I
they're going to
highly
meet someone. They
recommend
think
the lifting.
there's going to be someone out there, and they're going to be different and all this stuff, bro.
Get your ass in shape. If you are in shape, get in better shape. Fuck it.
When you go through enough experiences, you begin to realize what this is all about. And most people that's in relationships, bro, are not happy.
Nah.
Most
they
people that's
stay
in
it
relationships
because they're
are
scared.
miserable. Most people that's in relationships, they
They're
don't even
afraid to
like
be
each other
alone.
at one point. There might have been a spark there at one point, but you guys know what happens
That's
after
one
the
thing.
honeymoon stage.
When shit got real for me, I
You
was
want to
like,
be a
"Bitch,
man
I'm
that's
outta
in a
here."
sexless marriage because you're
No
going to be
offense
benefiting
to
her a
women,
whole
but,
lot,
you
and
know,
you're not
some
going to be getting a
people
whole lot of
gotta
what
be
you
that way.
want. And you're going to be putting up with some attitude. You're going to, like, is that what this is? It's not going to happen to me.
Oh, it's gonna happen. Everything's gonna happen,
Like-
you motherfucker. If you live long enough, everything's gonna happen.
Me personally, bro, I know
I've seen
what type
damn
of
near
woman
seen
it's
it
gonna
all in
take,
my
and
40 fucking years,
nothing-
but I've lived a wild life.
it's going to be
My
nothing
parents lived
less.
wild lives.
Otherwise, it's not going to be worth it. It's not going to be worth it. I know what it's going to take. Things can work. I see it happening at some point. I don't know if it'll be next week, and I don't know if it'll be in the next 5 years, but I see something happening, and it's going to take a certain type of individual, and
It is. You gotta
because
be
I become
smart
a certain type of
motherfuckers about
individual,
the
so it's
next
going to take a
5
certain
to 10 years.
type of individual on their end. And it's going to have to be a certain way because there's so many things today that's just wrong. Y'all could be doing so much better, bro. It's just
Right.
foolish. I don't understand how people can live like that. That's why there's so many people single today, because they realize usually people leave one another, bro. Usually happens at some point. But it's going to take 2 willing participants that's involved to make things work. You're going to have to really like her, bro. She's going to have to really like you, bro. Like it's going to have to be that way. Otherwise, it's going to come to an end. Someone's going to get fed up. She's going to get fed up because you're not giving her needs. You don't give her the attention she needs and craves. And if you do that, you're going to fail.
Blunt roaches.
It's going to take so much from you, bro. You're going to start to fail in your own personal life. You go to work after that, you're
streaming
already
photo
trained, and it's just
update
like, it's just, you're in this
I thought I did that before I started
sick
this
cycle now. Like, bro,
Sorry
there's
if you were
people that
expecting
live like
Dragon
that,
Age,
and it's
but,
like, no
you
matter
know,
what the
you
man
can't
does,
go
it's
to
not
fit,
good enough, and he's
motherfucker.
just falling and falling and falling and falling and falling at his job at home. He gets left, and now you feel like you just did everything you could and gave it your all and still got left. This is why men end up in those positions, because you did not take the time to really focus in your life and get so far ahead that you couldn't possibly be left behind. You could add the value
I'm
you
getting
could to
there.
a
I've got
female's
everything I
life, and
need.
she
I
could
just
add the
need
value
cash,
to your life.
motherfucking buddy.
So many people get caught up, bro, in the headlights, and it's like, no
That's
wonder
Epic
why things
Master
happen.
Mindless.
No wonder why.
I do enjoy some fucking Dragon
So-
Age.
In this economy especially, bro, we're talking about this economy. You didn't have to be maybe this precise back in the day, but you do now. It's just the way it is. Like,
You gotta
there's so many people that almost can't even
Yeah, you do.
afford to have kids. Like, there's so many people checking out of having kids because it's too expensive. You know the world's messed up. I'm just telling you guys the truth of what it's going to take. And it's going to take everything you got. And if you want to waste your years of your life just dating her, just trying to make it work because I just want a relationship so bad, bro, you got to second
Fuck
guess
that.
everything
I'm
you
not
think
staying with
about your
nobody
own
that
self.
makes me fucked up.
And get focused in a whole other way you probably never have in your entire life. Because if you did, you'd be further ahead. That's the goal, bro. That's the key. Men are starting to realize this today regardless. And it's amazing that they are, because that's what it has to be.
You know
Men
what
are
they-
walking away from women today.
My grandpa
And
told me,
relationships and trying to make it work, and
he
they're
was like,
focusing
"Man,
on
your grandpa
themselves, which you
probably
should
would've been
be.
divorced
I've been
many
doing it for such a
times,
long
but
time, since 21.
We couldn't afford
I
to
stopped
do it.
trying so hard when I got to 21 with
They
relationships and all
literally,
that.
they just, you know,
Because
they
I've been
just
through
get
so many
their own
situations,
assets, they
got
just
so
stay
far
together,
just for it to end.
be
And it's
fucking
like,
homeless.
that's when I realized something ain't
Wants
right.
that.
Something
Sometimes you gotta
ain't
fight for it,
right.
make it work, but you know that's up to you. Is it worth it? I don't know.
So guess what? I figured it out and I
Honestly.
made stuff right. That's all you can do. And it's the smartest thing you can do, obviously. Obviously. So, this is the buzz
Yeah.
all men have to be on. And it's funny to me how much I've given in my own life to become the man I have thus far, and to see other men much older than myself, not even a fraction, not even close to where I built myself into, when it's like,
Nope.
they think because they're older, they're going to come around me and they have more of a say over me, or they're smarter than me because they're older and I'm more experienced. And oh, you're just young, buddy, pal.
Bruh.
I'm looking through you right now. I'm looking through you. You're not that guy. I'm that guy. You're not that guy. And when I look at these guys a certain way, bro, they almost get mad and kind of intimidated, plus offended, and just, you see some of these men at the gym, and I don't have nothing against them, but I see what they are. I see how they act. I see how they behave, and I think it's funny. Because no one, bro, almost no one is used to that young guy growing as much as, like, let's say I have. No one's used to seeing it. They think just because you're young that they know more, or they've been through more, or da-da-da-da. But yet, you lived your life like a completely different being. You live completely different. I am miles ahead, bro. Miles and miles and miles and journeys and stratospheres ahead, because of how I lived my life. It's not because I was dropped down from the high heavens of earth and just this mystical thing. No. I could have done drugs for the last 10 years of my life. I could have drank and partied, bro. I'd be nothing if I did that. It's because of how I lived my life. And it's because of how those men lived their life. You only get what you put in, and I put in everything, bro. Everything I put in.
I've done some
You can't take it away from me. You can't stand there or sit there and act like something like above me when you're not. You're just not.
Fucking
Are you?
live with
Let's
your
see where you're
family as long
at.
as you
Let's
can.
see where you're at, buddy.
Yeah,
You're just not.
It's fucking good
Stop
advice.
playing with me. You're not. You're not that
I have a
guy.
very wealthy aunt.
I built myself into that guy, and I'm going to keep doing it.
Had a solid.
I earned it. I've become. Stop playing with me.
Grandpa thought
You're not
they'd
that.
never get rid of her. He was like, she's never gonna move out.
And it's just funny to me how people act. You get that, right? They act that way. I'm not acting that way. I've built myself into that way. And they always have something to say about it. They always have to come around you trying to like teach you something. And it's like, boy, I'm laughing at the clown. I'm laughing at the clown. And guys, I'm not even trying to be disrespectful right now. I'm just being very real and very raw. And some people can't take it. Maybe some people watching this video cannot take it, cannot handle it. Don't care. It is what it is. I know exactly who people are, bro. I know exactly where people stand. And I'm not going to have someone come around me
Mr.
acting like
Some people don't wanna
they've done
fucking
more than
learn.
me,
Some
or
people
they're
don't
ahead of
want
me,
to do
or
right.
they've done life better than me. Because if you did, I would
I always
humbly
wanted
sit
something
there or
better,
stand there
you know?
and listen to what you have to
Still
say.
do.
But something is just
want
not
to be
right
better
about
than
this
I am.
person, bro.
I want to have a better life and easier
Because they're
life.
trying to act more mature than me, or just because they're older than me. And you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys have encountered these people yourselves. I just find it hilarious. I'm low-key laughing at the clowns. And as I keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going, bro, I'm going to start to
Feeny,
see
we
their
need to have
faces
a
turn to
stream
envy,
like
because that's
this
what
one
happens.
day
I've
and
made
hear
many
the
of these
wisdom
men
of Feeny,
turn envious, bro,
the
because
things you've
I am the truth.
experienced and perspectives you have.
And they can't take it, bro. I live my life a very unique and specific way. For the last 10 years of my life, I did not piss around whatsoever. I took my life very seriously.
That is true too.
I run my own military base. That is what I do. That's what I lived for. I didn't live for the party and the magical times and all the good times. I didn't live for any of that, bro. I was focused. I'm serious about my stuff. Serious. I didn't do all that. Live life like you're just not gonna live tomorrow, and Tomorrowland and raves and trips and you don't know who you
A
are
lot of
after
people
all
don't
that.
have the gift
Have fun.
to see through
'Cause I've been
bullshit
grounded.
either, and they will go along with what
I got to
people tell
know
them
very
is
well
right,
who I am
even
and
though
all
it's not.
my surroundings as well,
It's
and
the
others.
gift of discernment. I was watching on a tarot reading that
Because
was
of
talking
being
about
grounded.
that. Some people, they just fall for everything, but it's not their fault. They're not.
And that's what I chose. You can choose whatever you want, but please.
Me, I can see through all kind of
Please.
bullshit. I can see through a woman's bullshit. I can see through my best friend
Don't be
bullshit.
like
I can
that.
see through the government bullshit.
Don't be like that. I'm slick, bro. I'm kind of a smart ass type of guy, but it's just being real. Just being real.
That's a
Some
good
people
point.
just hate it, bro, because you're
Yeah, I
just,
mean, you can learn.
you got some wit about
to
yourself.
deal
You
with
got
people.
some
I'm socially inept,
some intelligence
but
about
over the
yourself.
years,
Some people just hate it because
I've
they
learned
ain't
to
that. They ain't on
kind
that
of
tip. They
be
ain't on that
around
level.
people.
There's people in the world that are on that level
but
and
I don't
beyond.
function. My brain doesn't.
I see
function
things
like
for
other
what they
people.
are. Not how someone comes around me and starts acting like I'm a true man just because they're like
When it
40 or
comes
something.
To social
No.
interactions.
I'm not impressed. And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just not impressed. I know who you are. I know what you're doing. They would never, and I don't do it.
If I was.
They would never want me to come out and say
social
these things because they
butterfly,
get
I'd be
super
fucking
offended, bro.
unstoppable. I'd be married to 10 beautiful.
But I just keep
women and
rolling
all that
around,
shit.
walking around, doing my thing, no matter where I'm going, just doing my thing, and I just don't care what people think. I'm gonna keep going, and they are gonna keep being in denial. I basically expose their lack of growth. I expose everyone's lack of growth. That's the thing. That's what's gonna happen. I am satisfied with who I am today. I am dissatisfied with myself tomorrow, which is why I do so much. And when you're satisfied with your own actions, you're okay with everything.
Never satisfied.
But guess what, guys? There's a lot of other people in the world who are not.
Maybe I'm
They become
just
haters of yours. They become envious, spiteful,
She's
jealous.
never satisfied.
I've learned so much. You can't trick me. You can't fool me when I live in truth. You can't. You can't do nothing. You can't do nothing. I like who I am. And I don't care if I should even be better, or you can't tell me I'm worse. I like who I am, and I'm going to keep getting better. So it don't matter. It don't matter. I'm good. But are you? A lot of these people out here ain't, bruh. A lot of these people ain't out here. What's hilarious too is when you develop yourself as a man, and this is the last thing in this video, you're going to see these women act a certain way when you're a bit younger and stuff. Their value might have been high, they might have been young and beautiful, and they gave you a hard time. Wait till you see what happens as you keep going on and building yourself into a real man. They use those years to use their value and their leverage. They use their value as leverage. Did all they want, had a bunch of fun, took a bunch of you-know-what, dated about 100 different men.
Carousel.
Which this ruined them because women are not supposed to do those things. Let me tell you that right now. Women are not supposed to do that. But in the day and age we live in today, they have that tool to do it. They have the tools to do that. And it's not good for them. Attention whores and just, they're just bouncing around, bro. You cannot trust them as far as you can chuck them. You just can't. So as you keep building yourself, all of a sudden, you get up there, let's say in your mid-20s to late 20s to early 30s. They're looking at you a lot differently now. They want to start to act a lot differently now, and you don't want nothing to do with them. Truth be told. This is what happens when you make the right moves as a man. This is the real advice you should be listening to.
That's why I have like 5 friends, literally 5.
And not the cliche, oh, party when you're young, enjoy it, get it out of your system, do all those things. You should be building yourself into the best man you could possibly be, because if you don't, you're going to get left behind. If you don't, you're going to struggle for the rest of your life. For the rest of your human years, you will struggle. But if you put yourself through the struggle, you win. While everyone else loses, you win.
Yep, he had some valid points. Oh, man. So, when you just ain't got it all together. Yeah, I've watched that one too. There was a time, I still probably don't have it all together, but you know, fuck it. Day 1 of Trump verdict fallout.
Alright everyone, there will only be one video today because there's really only one thing on people's mind. I realize that there's all sorts of cool international news and science and stuff like that to cover, but as an American, there's really not a whole lot else going on. Look at the CNN front page right now when you watch this video.
I can't wait to vote for
About 20 different takes on the Trump verdict. I wonder why. We've just thrown out nearly 250 years of civic precedents and legal precedents in the United States because of a highly politicized prosecutorial system attempting to take Trump off the campaign trail. Now we have to gauge the reaction. The trial is now over. He's been found guilty on over 30 felony counts. Sentencing, I mean, it's a joke when they report on that. They're like, well, they've chosen the date 4 days before the Republican National Convention. Yeah, but it's going to be on endless appeal, so, you know, you're not going to see Trump dragged off into a cell or something like all the liberals are masturbating over at the moment. You're not even going to get that hilarious image, which I personally think would just help him even more. Here's the fallout in a nutshell. Number 1, highly polarizing. People who supported Trump and organizations that supported Trump now support him twice as much. Those that didn't support him continue not to support him and are chuckling about it and saying, well, you know, he's done for this time. But the thing is, we've heard that before. In the end, I think that this benefits Donald Trump, but I don't think that it moves the metric of the race in which he is. He is the nominee for the GOP. He just hasn't been coronated yet, basically. That process hasn't officially ended, but we know he's the nominee. What I'm looking at is basically both sides sort of hardening, the support and the anti-support hardening. And that's really all I'm seeing. It doesn't appear to have swayed any other voters. In the end, I think some independent voters come to their senses and support Trump. This gives them another reason to do so other than Bidenomics failing and the border and things like that. It doesn't really move the metric massively. I'd be surprised if it was more than a point or two. This is meaningful, certainly in a relatively close polling in some of those states.
Yeah,
certainly
we're gonna have to
meaningful,
delete
but is
that
it
spam.
the most meaningful thing that it could be? No, I don't think this causes a 10-point shift for or against Trump. Some people will swear up and down he's toast. Now a significant proportion of Americans will never support him. Well, that's true, but I mean, most of them didn't support him to begin with, so
Message
that's
deleted.
a blunted effect.
Banned.
Or that a bunch of
You get
Americans
the ban
will
hammer.
consider it to
You
be a great,
get the
like,
ban
revolutionary
hammer.
moment,
You get
and
the
therefore
ban
flock to
hammer.
Trump as the dissident
Make
candidate.
me break that
Some
bad
will.
mother-
That's more
Ow.
meaningful because some of them are independent voters that aren't, completely on board with the Trump
Yosh.
train. But it's not a hugely meaningful impact that I'm expecting. One thing that I am seeing, though, that's meaningful is that even the neocons with TDS are questioning the verdict. Even Susan Collins, who has TDS, she is
What
one of
the
the
fuck?
key rhino neocons in Congress, along with Romney and Cornyn and a few others.
This bitch
One of the
literally
key
came up in
neocons,
here trying to promote
literally
her
like
channel and
fucking
her
Murkowski or
OnlyFans
something,
and shit, like,
comes out and
fuck
says,
that.
well, this was obviously politicized and I've got some significant questions about this. She stopped shy of saying full-throated support for Trump now, we must fight back or something like that, because she knows her constituency. But her reaction is actually a little bit unexpected. I expected that at least some of the
Yeah,
core
boy.
neocons with their TDS
Back to
would sort of hold that
regularly
same line and say,
scheduled
well, something along the lines of this, well, while I think that there were problems with the prosecution, it was political, the jury in the end did the right thing or something like that. We're not seeing that. We're seeing an absolute wagon circling around Trump, even by Republicans that provably fucking hate him. There are liberal commentators now that are edging towards Trump. I can't remember what's his name there. Just cut a $300,000 check for Trump. He's a former, I guess at this point, former Democrat, and wrote an op-ed explaining the reasoning process behind why. Again, sorry, I can't remember the name. It's on RCP right now. You can look that up for yourself real easy. I am
Really?
seeing some people that were
I
on
don't
the
give a
fence.
fuck.
In the places where it matters the most, by the way, the donor class, moving towards
voting
Trump.
for
And then this is
because
less than 24
milk went
hours
up
after
$1
the
a
verdict.
gallon and gas
That
went
is
up
is
$1
probably
gallon
a
as
sign
soon as
that this
Biden
is
was
not
elected.
going to alienate him from voters.
Amongst other
If anything,
things.
probably the inverse. And
Just
the
to troll
Democrats
the
shouldn't have done
fucking
this.
libtards.
This was their Hail Mary. The whole idea was that they hoped that by simply indicting Trump on a bunch of shit charges, that people would not want to vote for him. They would say, well, I mean, God, he's going to be They didn't want him to win the primaries, though. The first goal of these lawfare situations really was to keep him from winning the primaries, to run interference for Nikki Haley mainly, the neocon candidate. And they figured the Republican voting bloc is unlikely to nominate a person who they think cannot win because they'll be in jail on Election Day. That was the whole goal. And it won't happen, but that was the goal. And that
was
didn't
the
work
goal.
out. Instead, it backfired. And then they slow-walked the process, and they said, okay, well, the second best thing we can do is drag this out as long as possible. 2 of the cases against Trump are on indefinite hold at this point. They're being appealed to all hell. The Jack Smith case is dead in the water. This case we might not even in the end get a sentencing for this.
Bumble.
It's
Men
been
must
docketed
make
for
the
right
first
before the
move. I
convention.
thought that was
What
where women
convenient
chose
timing,
the
by
man.
the way. I would point out one other thing, though, and people are missing the context.
Mastermindless.
Trump's
I deleted
defense
that
did not
message
care
because
that they
came up
scheduled
in
it
here
for right
talking
before the
about,
convention.
Hey, I was
I think
scrolling and
indeed
found
that
your
is the point.
stream.
Can you imagine a more stark situation
my
in which the
page.
voting
Also,
public
I
is
make
zapped into
spicy
realizing what
content.
the hell is
Message me
happening
for a free
than
video.
for Trump
I
to
was
get
like,
sentenced and not be there at the convention at all?
Coming in here
So the
self-promoting
person
and
that
shit,
99% of the
man.
delegates
Hell
are
no.
pledged to,
He
who
was
is
a
one
scammer,
basically
spammer.
everywhere, can't even show up to
He,
give a
she,
convention
it,
speech, or has to
motherfucking
teleconference in from a
scammer,
confiscated
spammer.
cell phone or something. Imagine you get Trump, he's in the orange jumpsuit with a do-rag on his head with a
Fucking
couple of
bunch of
crips next to him in the
cork
cell, with the smuggled cell phone, doing the address to the RNC. It'd be the most mimetic thing ever. The most gangsta thing ever, by the way. Be hilarious. It would be pure Trump,
I'm writing
something
A.
like that. The only thing that I expect is the unexpected at this point. Nothing that has happened up until now
Expect
really
the
has a precedent.
unexpected.
You'd never had a case against a former president, number one. And they would never had a conviction of a former president. You've never had a person convicted on this kind of charge,
Wow,
where the
that's
judge
all I can
instructs the
say.
jury. It doesn't really matter what crime you think he was covering up. You don't have to agree on that. Unanimity is not necessary despite the fact that there's literally a Supreme Court decision saying that you do need unanimity in the underlying crime in order to overlap the charges, which is why on appeal this will be thrown out. The liberals, I don't think in the end will get their way. My analysis based on the reactions of other people is one part anger from people who really like Trump, or concern for the nation in general as we slip further into a fascistic oligarchic system and away from a democratic republic that actually functions. So there's anger and despair in that case. I've noticed one other positive thing, which is that I noticed that a lot of the black pillars have become suddenly unblack-pilled. I guess they finally snapped. They realized, okay, they think that everything's lost anyway, so they're like, to hell with it. And I think that might be the way some of them are thinking. I myself am white-pilled. If anything, this makes it more likely Trump wins. He could literally win from house arrest at the Mar-a-Lago. In fact, I'm hoping that we get a situation like that. How do you even sentence him, by the way? You probably can't throw him in jail. Even Merchant admitted this. Well, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do about this. You could fine him, but he's got billions of dollars, so that's not really meaningful, and there are caps on the amount that you can fine a person anyway, so I don't know, what would it be, 50 grand per charge or something? Trump can dig that out of his ass when he goes to the bathroom this morning, so that's not a problem. House arrest, well, there's his elbow moment. Suspend the sentence, well, the liberals will riot.
Bro, I can't wait
They'll say
to vote for a
they'll
fucking
consider that to be
convicted
him being
felon. You
treated
have no
differently
idea.
under the law. Technically
I'm
speaking,
not a
they'd be
felon,
right.
but
And
I've
Merchant
been
can
to
come
the
out, and
county
Alvin
quite a
Bragg can
few
come
many
out
times.
and say to the public all they want,
And a lot
well,
of
we
them
don't
were
have a
bullshit.
choice.
I shouldn't
I
even
think that would
been
lead
there.
to another
That was
summer of
fucking
love
bullshit.
moment,
Them cops,
harming the
them fucking
Democrats
judges,
further in
they're
the
all
process
fucking
when
dirty.
the
They put people
left
through
would show
living
their ass,
fucking
by the
hell.
way. The fallout
For
of the
what?
verdict really is blunted overall, but where it counts
Fucking
in the
stupid.
rungs of power, so public officials, etc., the donor class, it is a swing towards Trump, actually. It is advantage Donald Trump. By the
There were
way,
times I
probably
didn't
won't
do
do
a
a
goddamn
live stream
thing
today
wrong,
since I
and
did
I
an
was in
extra
jail for
yesterday,
it.
so I think everyone's
real.
had their fill. Had to
That's
go
the
live though.
injustice
Fucking
system. I don't
15,000
fuck
people
with
were
them. I
watching. That
don't
was
know.
pretty
Cops,
fun.
lawyers, judges.
Difficult
Fuck
to
'em all.
keep up with the super chats, by the way.
Feed 'em
And
fish
yes, I
eggs.
would
God
say that
damn.
people should consider donating to Trump's re-election bid. If you want to hold back that $5 super chat and send a check Trump's way, he could use some more logistic support because he still has to fight this. He is still going to get dragged through a lengthy appeals process. It's his advantage politically, but up until then, up until November, you have to go through summer before it's autumn, and you have to go through autumn before it's winter. In Vermont's climate, November
Exactly.
is basically winter.
Yeah, bro,
there
we'll
is
do
still
a
a
fucking-
length of
see,
time
we
to
need to
go.
do a react
He will
stream
still
to
need
some
to
shit like
campaign,
this.
although right now he's effectively unbridled until
To a
that sentencing
political
date he can
video,
do whatever
and
he
then,
wants.
you can go the
So
fuck
he's got a
off,
few
bro.
weeks of latitude now, and then the convention
both can.
comes, and it could be very, very chaotic.
That might
They're probably
actually
trying to
pay
cause
us
that
off
too.
a
They're
little
worried
bit.
that the Democratic National Convention is
that.
going to have tens of thousands of protesters showing up for Gaza or
That
something,
might be our
and it'll
thing in
devolve
the
into
end.
rioting and be another literal Chicago 68 moment. They're trying, therefore, to make the Republican nomination process messy, and that's basically sort of their last rung of defense until Trump wins and then they obstruct him up the ass. That's basically, I think, their
Over.
operative
We
too.
gotta find a
That's
new
about all.
video. Damn, well, I really need to
Peace
be
out.
getting ready for work, y'all. I know you gotta get back to work, bro. I know your boss gonna be like, man, you always watching the fucking phone. What? So, on that note, I'm gonna play us out. Stream has ended. Stream has ended. Oh no. It's a sad day. A very sad day. When the stream has ended. And here we go. So long, farewell, I remember you. And I'll always remember you guys. My loyal
When I
fans.
close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind worked backwards just for a minute, almost singing. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind works backwards just for a minute, I hold on to you before the memory's gone. I remember you. You left my spirit with you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you. You make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember. I remember you. You left my spirit with you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you. You make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember.
Tick tock, banjo's back. Laters.